Hello, welcome back to another workshop. My name is Sarah, and as most of you know, February is Heart Health Month. So today we're going to be talking about heart health and heart rate and how that affects, your health and fitness levels. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. So as I said, we're going to be talking about your heart rate and how to measure it, how it affects your overall health, how to decrease it, and more. So there are several ways to measure your heart rate and fitness levels. Today we'll be talking about step test, the talk test, RPE, and your resting heart rate. So first up is the step test. It's a 3-minute basic aerobic fitness test that takes place. So you'll alternate stepping up on a step and then back down. It's done at a consistent pace. And you'll take your heart rate calculations after the 3-minute period is up, and you will get your heart rate after that. So here's a chart of your heart rate during the step test, and it can kind of tell you how you are and how you measure up to everyone within your same age range and gender. So the idea behind the talk test is that the harder you work, the more out of breath you get, and it becomes harder to talk. So a few popular tests for this includes reciting the Pledge of Allegiance or counting numbers. So for example, during your workout, if you choose to recite the Pledge of Allegiance or any other phrase, poem, or song that you like, if you can speak comfortably, you are at a low intensity. And if it's hard to speak, that means you're at or above a level 5 on the perceived exertion scale. So during the counting numbers method, you'll count as high as you can as you exhale before you start your workout. Now during your workout, you'll count again as you exhale and compare those numbers. So if the numbers counted during the exercise drops to about 70%, you're working at a level 5 or above. Now, another easy way to monitor your intensity without needing special equipment is to use an RPE chart. This is pretty subjective, and you have to be really honest about how hard you're actually working. The idea of the RPE chart is to rank your intensity on a scale of 1 to 10. So for example, a level 1 would be kind of minimal effort, just lounging around the house, while level 10 would be, all out effort, sprinting for your life, or something like that. So ideally, you want to stay somewhere between level 5 and 9, depending on the workout you're doing. All right. So the most accurate measure of cardiorespiratory fitness is the VO2 max. This measures the maximum amount of oxygen that the body can use in 1 minute per kilogram of body weight. So during exercise, the heart rate responds by increasing, which also means the delivery of oxygen to the body is also increasing. Because of this dependent relationship, VO2 max and heart rate are both valuable when assessing a person's cardiovascular fitness. So the VO2 max is usually performed on a piece of cardio equipment, such as a treadmill or stationary bike, as you see here. Exercise intensity and heart rate are gradually increased, while oxygen and carbon dioxide present in the inhaled and exhaled air are measured through a breathing mask that this guy also has on. So VO2 max is reached when the oxygen consumption levels off, despite the increase in intensity. So you'll mostly see these tests being done in a clinical site, obviously, due to the amount of equipment that is needed. So how to increase your VO2 max? Studies show that you can increase your VO2 max by working out at a 64 to 94% of your maximal heart rate for at least 20 minutes 3 times a week. So those with a high VO2 max will have a lower resting heart rate, lower blood pressure, and other health benefits that are correlated with being fit and in shape. So to calculate your maximum heart rate that we talked about for being at for 20 minutes 3 times a week, you would subtract your age from 220, and that is your maximum heart rate. So when you think of heart rate and fitness, and kind of what we just talked about was intense exercise, high intensity workouts, cardio, running, anything to get your heart rate up and to get you moving and sweaty. However, resting heart rate is just as important and as good of an indicator of your physical health as anything else. So resting heart rate is exactly what it sounds like. It's how fast or slow your heart rate is while at rest. So this isn't a complete resting period, as if you were sitting on the couch, laying around or anything, not the rest period in between exercise sets. So resting heart rate can be affected by age, fitness levels, any health or medical issues, body size, or even air temperature. So to measure your resting heart rate, you can simply check your pulse. This can be done either on your wrist or on your neck, just under your chin next to your windpipe. When you feel your pulse, it's kind of the same thing as the step test. So you would count the number of beats that you feel in 15 seconds and then multiply that number by 4 to calculate your beats per minute. So in most cases, a lower resting heart rate can indicate a higher level of physical fitness. This is also associated with reduced risk rates of cardiac events, such as heart attacks, and a high resting heart rate might indicate an increase of cardiac issues. So as the more your heart has to beat, eventually it takes a toll on its overall function, its overworking. So a high resting heart rate can also be linked with lower physical fitness. Could be higher blood pressure, body weight, and levels of circulating blood fats. So researchers also have discovered that the higher a person's resting heart rate is, the greater the risk of premature death as well. So how to lower your heart rate and keep it low. So here's a few methods that include, of course, exercising more, avoiding tobacco products. So it's been shown that smokers have higher resting heart rates. So quitting will obviously bring that down. You can also reduce stress through meditation, relaxation, whatever techniques fit you best. That will also lower your resting heart rate. And then weight loss if necessary. So here's a chart of the resting heart rate. And you can also kind of see, same thing with the step test, how well you are as far as your age and your gender. You can see kind of a good average of where your fitness levels are in relation to your resting heart rate. And you can see, how you line up with everyone else. So we are going to be showing the step test demonstration after this. So stay tuned, stick around, and we will be back with a step test video. But for now, thank you for joining me for the Heart Health Workshop. We hope that you've learned something today and can take it and use it for your own personal health and fitness journey. And we'll see you guys next time.